I said 10 o'clock sharp, and it is not 10 o'clock. Oh, it is. Oh, 10 o'clock right now. Okay, everyone, it's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. I have an echo. There's an echo. Tech team. Okay. Should I turn this mic off or? Hello? Good morning. Good morning. Do you all hear that echo or is it just me? You all hear it too? We'll get this technology together eventually. Hello? Is that better? Okay, very good. All right. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call back from recess the Wayne County Commission Equalization meeting. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioners Basham, Varga, and Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun have asked to be excused.
Thank you.
Have a quorum present.
Okay, thank you so much. Next item, please.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
If everyone could please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Thank you. Next item, please.
Invocation.
Today we have our invocation or introduction by Commissioner Dobb. Commissioner Dobb.
I'm having a hell of a fucking.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to introduce lawyer and lifetime human rights activist, Nam Simran Kaur. Nam Simran is a member of one of the 3 Sikh Gurdwaras in my district, the one we affectionately call the Michigan Avenue Gurdwara. This April was a month full of faith celebrations, and honestly, it was very difficult for me to choose an invocator. We've had Easter, Passover, and Ramadan, just to name a few. A few of the elected officials in my district are of the Sikh faith, and they always invite me to the local Gurdwaras. So on Easter, I took them to Mass at the Catholic Church where I grew up. I'll be introducing a resolution today to recognize April as Sikh Appreciation and Awareness Month. So I'm very happy that Nam Simran agreed to do the invocation. To highlight some of her work in human rights activism and community service, Nam Simran has spoken on CNN Live regarding civil rights in Asia, led the United Nations in a Sikh prayer as the worldwide representative of the Sikh faith in the UN opening sessions, and worked directly with the Dalai Lama to advocate for human rights in Tibetan refugees and Buddhist monks. Additionally, Nam Simran has written legal policy and law that was used by prosecutors of the Rwandan War Crimes Tribunal to prosecute hate crimes, provided diversity training to the TSA and police, and has worked at Physicians for Human Rights. Currently, she works with the Sikh Coalition on civil rights issues and training with the United Sikhs, which is a UN-affiliated disaster relief organization. And she is joining us today on Zoom. So I will turn it over to her now. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much. The floor is yours, ma'am.
Thank you, Commissioner Dobb, for inviting me.
Hold on 1 second. We have some problems hearing you. Hold on 1 second. Technical support. Can you hear us?
Ms. Kaur, are you connected to audio?
Yes, I believe I am. Let me check again.
Connect to audio on your device so that we can hear you.
2, 4,
I
8,
know you can hear us, but we can't
0,
hear
She
you.
can hear us, but we cannot hear her.
8,
Now
9.
you're on mute. Uh-oh, it was probably a beautiful prayer. Unmute yourself.
No.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
No,
No, we
ma'am.
cannot hear you.
No. Okay, hold on.
Oh.
Okay,
So they can hear her on Zoom. The other Zoom members can hear her, but we cannot hear her in the chambers.
okay. Should I go on?
No, go ahead. You can go now. Thank you.
Hey, good morning. How you doing today?
Should I go on?
Yes, please.
Yes,
Okay.
we can hear you now. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Commissioner Dobb, for inviting me here today. The prayer I will recite today comes from the 6 scriptures. The stanza is found in Sukhmani Sahib, also known as a Psalm of Peace. This stanza is part of our Ardas. Ardas means a request, a supplication or petition to a supreme authority. Reciting of this prayer synchronizes the body, mind, and soul and leads to self-realization and communion with God. This is considered the ultimate reality and ultimate truth. I will now read a translation of this prayer in English, and then I will recite the actual prayer, which is in Gurmukhi. The prayer is loosely translated as follows. You are our master. To you, I offer this humble prayer. This body and soul are all your belonging. You are our mother and our father, and we are your children. In your grace, we experience ultimate peace. No one knows your infinite vastness. O highest of high, most generous Lord, the whole creation is strung on your thread. That which has come from you is in your will. You alone know your existence and vastness. Nanak, your servant is forever surrendering to you. I will now recite the prayer in Gurmukhi. To those who choose, please now close your eyes and fold your hands in prayer pose. Take a moment to center yourselves and breathe. Tu Thakur tum pe ardas jiyo pinda sab teri ras tum mat pita hum barik tere tumri kripa mein sukh kneere koi न जाने तुमरा अंत ऊंचे ते ऊंचा भगवंत सगल समगरी तुमरे सूत्रधारी तुम ते होए सो आज्ञाकारी तुमरी गत मित तुम ही जानी नानक दास सदा कुर्बानी तुमरी गत मित तुम ही जानी नानक दास सदा कुर्बानी. I will end with our 6th salutation. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh, which translates to those who embody love of humanity and purity of soul belong to God, and all glory belongs to God. Thank you and have a blessed day.
Thank you so much for that beautiful prayer. We appreciate you coming and sharing that with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, next item.
Reading, correcting, and approval of the journal.
Vice Chair Palomero.
Move approval.
Moved and supported. Are there any corrections to the journal? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much. Next item.
Report from the chair.
Thank you. Just wanted to remind commissioners to bring your tablets to full board meeting and to your committee meetings, or you can have your staff print out the agendas if you don't have your tablet with you. And again, just reminder to have your tablet or to have your staff bring your to print out your agendas to full board and to committee meetings. Thank you. Next item, please.
Unfinished business, there is none listed. We are moving to offering of our petitions, ordinances, resolutions, and presentations. There are 2 resolutions listed. Item number 1 is a resolution by Commissioner Daub recognizing April 2022 as SICA, pronounce it for me, Commissioner, I'm sorry if I messed that up, Awareness and Appreciation Month.
Thank you. Commissioner Dobb?
Thank you, Madam Chair. A fundamental characteristic of Michigan society is the diverse cultural, ethnic, racial, and religious heritage of all Michiganders, which contributes greatly to the life of life in this state. Sikh Americans have been living in the United States and Michigan for more than 120 years, and Wayne County is home to thousands of Sikhs who are proud Michiganders pursuing diverse professions and make rich contributions to the social, cultural, and economic vibrancy of this state. On the 1st of this month, Governor Gretchen Whitmer proclaimed April 2022 as Sikh Awareness Month. And today, I'm so proud to be presenting this resolution to recognize April 2022 as Sikh Awareness and Appreciation Month in Wayne County. And as we seek to further the diversity of our communities across Wayne County and afford all residents the opportunity to better understand, recognize, and appreciate the rich history and shared experiences of Sikh Americans, I would now like to move this resolution for approval.
There's support. Moved and supported. Any further discussion on the resolution? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much. Next item, please.
Item number 2 is a resolution by Commissioner Daub supporting the adoption of science-backed policies and initiatives that combat the detrimental effects of global climate change in recognition of the 52nd year of celebrating Earth Day, which is on April 22nd.
Commissioner Dobb.
It's my day today, isn't
Yes, it is.
it? Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move this resolution for approval in celebration of Earth Day.
There's support. Moved and supported. Any discussion on this resolution? Celebrating the 52nd Earth Day on April 22nd. Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
Carries.
So much. All right, next item, please.
We're moving to reports from committees. Report A is from the Committee on Audit. There are 2 items listed.
Vice Chair of the Audit Committee.
That's me.
Hello, thank you. I didn't have it in my notes.
We
Thank you.
have, I want to move 2 receive and file items. One is our Office of the Legislative General participates in a peer review, a national peer review, and auditor generals from other counties around the country participate in that. And this year, as we always do, we got rave reviews from that peer review audit. So that's one. And then I also want to move to receive and file number 2, which is an audit of the Department of Information Technology and their controls over the various computer assets around the county. I move both of them, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Moved and supported. Any discussion on the audit report? Any discussion on the audit report?
Just excited to know I'm no longer the vice chair of audit.
Were you the vice chair?
That's why I was a little uncertain there,
Yes.
Commissioner.
And
And nobody
I have-
else spoke up and I'm like, well, I'm on the committee. Maybe it's me.
But all right, it's quite all right. I had a prepared statement from Chairman Basham,
So
but
do you want to move them, Commissioner? I'll take the
Commissioner
motion
Clean
back,
summarized it
Commissioner.
well, so it's quite all right. Yes, quite all
If
right.
it's more appropriate for you.
My apologies, Commissioner. Sorry about that, Commissioner. That threw me off. I didn't know the vice chair didn't have it in front of me this time. Any further discussion on the audit report? Commissioner Denise Kniezek, you can be the first one to vote for the audit report, please. Everyone, please vote.
Carries.
All right, thank you so much. Next item, please.
We're moving to report B from the Committee on Public Safety, Judiciary, and Homeland Security. There are 11 items listed on pages 2 through 4 of the agenda.
Commissioner Clark Coleman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move that we receive and file items 1 through 7 and approval of items 8 through 11.
Moved and supported. Any discussion on the items on the public safety report? Any discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And for our listening audience, as a reminder, during our committees, we vet and have full discussion on the items on each report, and then they come to the full board, which is today, for final disposition. But they were fully vetted and discussed during the committee process. Next item, please.
Here on report C from the Committee on Government Operations, there are 12 items listed on pages 4 through 6 of the agenda.
Thank you, Commissioner Dobb.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move to receive and file, excuse me, receive and file item number 1 and move for approval items 2 through 12. I do understand that item 1, we may be receiving an amendment to this report. So, but for now, we're going to be receiving and filing this report at this time.
It's been moved. Is there support for the government operations report? There's support for the government operations
Support.
report. Okay. Moved and supported. Any discussion on the report? Any discussion on the items? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item, please.
We are on report D from the Committee on Public Services. There are 9 items listed on pages 6 through 9 of the agenda.
Thank you. Commissioner Marecki.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move approval of items 1 through 5, 8, and 9, and move to receive and file items 6 and 7.
There's support.
Support.
Moved and supported. On item number 7, I will remind those listening that we have a phone number to call if you have a road concern, 1-888-ROAD CREW. Very important that if you have a pothole that you'd like to report or any other road condition, please call that number, 1-888-ROAD CREW. Any further discussion on the public services report? Hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item, please.
We're on report E from the Committee on Health and Human Services. There are 20 items listed on pages 9 through 17 of the agenda.
Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move items 1 through 20 for approval.
Or
Moved and supported for the Health and Human Services report. Are there any discussion on the items in the Health and Human Services report? Commissioner Kinlock.
Madam Chair, I would like to be a maker of the motion for item 2 And item number 4.
That fine, Commissioner? Okay, thank you. Duly noted. Any further discussion on the Health and Human Services report? Okay, hearing none, please vote.
Motion carries, and I have Commissioner Kinlock as the maker of the motion on items 2 and 4.
Thank you so much. Next item.
We are on page 18 of the agenda, Report F from the Committee on Ways and Means. There are 26 items listed on pages 18 through 22 of the agenda.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Anderson.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move all those items on the agenda 1 through 26, including the equalization item and for the consideration and approval.
It's been moved and supported. Is Scott here? If you could please come discuss the equalization report.
Good morning, Scott Vandenbergel, Director of Assessment and Equalization, Wayne County. Regarding the 2022 Equalization Report, I delivered that report on behalf of the division to the Committee on Ways and Means. Equalize the assessments within Wayne County. To that end, I recommend that all the assessments be equalized as assessed, with the exception of one equalization factor to be applied to the Township of Huron agricultural real property class. Equalization factor of about 2%. So which means the assessor brought the values in a little bit too low, and this would increase the assessments overall in the aggregate by about 2%.
That's for Huron Township?
Huron Township agricultural. So it's about a 90 parcel class. So it's a handful of parcels. That it has to be recommended once in a while to do the checking and balancing that we're charged to do on as your advisors. Past a couple other points past the equalization factor for Huron. As a whole, if there had to be one word to sum up the report, it would be that the market had a stellar year. A lot of economic forces kind of converged and had the effect of driving up the real estate market. Best value side of it for the market values, which are at 50%. Taxable value side for our tax base, that went up about 6%. Trailing information, but the inflation rate was 3.3%. So at that time, it beat inflation twice over. Of course, inflation's higher now, but that's backward looking.
Last year.
Oh, and one other point I should make too, actually a very noteworthy point. Since I was appointed to office in 2014, I've been keeping track of the relationship of the assessments from that time to 2007 tax year, which was when the county had its peak valuation year. At that point, it was substantially less, of course, coming out of the recession. With this 2022 tax year, we're at 99.59%, call it 100%. So we've materially returned to 2007 values. It's half full or half empty. I mean, it took 15 years to get there, but the glass being half full as we got there. So our values are back where they were at the highest point in the county. Tax space has a little bit to recover. We're at about 91% of where we were 15 years ago, but we are into the 90th plus percentile.
Well, that's good news. We're back almost to where we were at the highest point in 2007. That's awesome.
For sure, recovering strongly. And the development growth seems to be really driving the taxable value growth. And in particular, the city of Detroit had a 10% growth in its taxable value.
At 10%.
10% for the city of Detroit as an example. And that was driven largely by development, new development, which is a very positive sign, obviously.
Any questions to Scott on the assessment report? Commissioner Haydos?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Scott, can you explain to
This would be a local county equalization factor for one class of property within one community. So this just affects the agricultural property class within the confines, within the four corners of Huron Township only. So it wouldn't, for instance, affect Sumter Township or Van Buren Township. It would not affect them. Other places where there's not an awful lot of agricultural properties in the county as a whole. That's something like 300, but it would not have any effect on them. A state equalization factor, in contrast, would affect all the agricultural properties if it were applied to agricultural in the county. That's not it's sort of a microcosm of the entire equalization.
Thank you. Any additional questions for Scott on the assessment report? Okay, thank you, Scott. Okay, the Ways and Means report has been moved. I believe it was seconded, Madam Clerk. Okay, one more time for questions on the Ways and Means report. Okay, hearing none, please vote.
Carries.
Thank you. Next item, please.
Upcoming committee meetings.
Okay, everyone, please note committee meetings for next week. If there are any changes, please let the clerk know. Next item.
New business, there is none listed. We are moving to testimonial resolutions and certificates of appreciation. There are 5 items listed on pages 23 and 24 of the agenda.
Okay, thank you. Let me just speak to one of them, Mr. Arthur Edge. He's retiring from the city of Detroit after 27 years. Arthur Edge lives in my district, and he's a member of Detroit 300, and that's an activist organization that really helps our community out. He's the president of one of our community organizations, and just all around great guy. So after 27 years of working with the city of Detroit, he is now retiring. So I'll be very excited to attend his upcoming retirement party because it's well deserved. Any other discussion on the testimony resolutions? Did we get a motion, Madam Clerk? Okay, is there a motion? I started speaking before we had a motion. Okay, moves and support. Okay, moved and supported. Any further discussion on testimony resolutions and certificates of appreciation? All right, hearing none, please vote.
Carries.
Thank you so much. Next item, please.
On memoriams, there are 5 names listed.
Anyone like to speak to any of the names listed? Commissioner Haydos?
one name, Robert Bingham. Robert and his wife live very family-friendly life in the city of Wayne for a long time. And I was lucky to meet them and be friends with them. And last couple of weeks, Bob passed away and left me with lots of memory as a friend who cares. After work coming from Ford Motor Company in the city of Wayne, he passed by my place of business. See me working on something mechanical. He said, don't you stick to the thing you know how to do. It's true, mechanically, you know, it just, every holiday, the peanut brittle his wife make, you know, people do something sometime, grab you by the heart. Very simple way to let you know we love you. I'll miss Bob. He left us with 2 of his children, Catherine and David. David is a lieutenant with Wayne County Sheriff Department. My sympathy go to the family, and I hope we continue the friendship.
Commissioner, sorry for your loss. Any addition, Commissioner Scott?
Writing and public.
Thank you, Commissioner. Certainly a life well lived. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Any additional names for memoriams? Hearing none, please stand for a moment of silence. Thank you all. Sending our prayers to families who have lost loved ones over the last week. Thank you so much. Next item, please.
Public comments.
Okay, public comments. We have 2 minutes on Zoom and on the telephone, and I don't know if you have any comments to read, Madam Clerk, but we'll go to Zoom and those on the telephone first. On Zoom, if you could unmute everyone. Let me see, I can put that. Okay, Robert.
Thank you, Ms. Chair. Good morning, everyone. Robert Pulaski here from Southgate in my hometown of Wayne County. Following up to the last meeting I spoke at, which was February 17th around the RTA meeting. I spoke about the RTA and how much it is important to this region. Now, as we approach the millage portion of this year, SMART has introduced their millage for August. That's their campaigning month. I just like to speak on a couple things. Wayne County especially needs to go all in transit. Oakland County Board of Commissions was just held last week on Thursday, and the amount of support for getting countywide transit in Oakland County is definitely needed, especially in communities like Rochester Hills and Rochester, Michigan as well. Seeing our community thrive and seeing all the economic development coming in. I'm sorry to put Abdil Haddis on the spot, but seeing all the economic development and the support from the SMART board to get more businesses and putting more routes in this county of Wayne is just, seeing this region thrive is just awesome. And the missing part to this is having Canton, Northville, and Plymouth and Livonia as well. For those communities need to have transit, access to jobs, access to shopping, access to everything, especially for our Detroit and other residents coming in from other cities to these cities, especially Canton and Livonia. Let's go all in for transit, and let's vote yes for the SMART Millage 2022 for go countywide transit in Wayne County. But as always, thank you for time and opportunity to speak.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Anyone else on Zoom?
Yes, this is John Ugval. I was calling. I'm wanted to speak regarding the Section B, the Public Safety, Judiciary, and Homeland Security. I don't know if I missed it, but did you guys go through all 11 items on that?
Yes.
Okay, were they all? And I apologize. Item 11 pertains to my company, and I didn't know if that was approved.
Yes, all 11 items.
I appreciate that. Sorry for the interruption. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else on Zoom or on the telephone for public comments? Madam Clerk, do you have any emails?
I do. I have two. The first is from Celeste Mentag. Good morning, committee members. I am a disenfranchised Black voter. I am a proponent for fair elections. After learning about the Zuckerberg financial contribution to influence our electoral process, I was worried that the votes of all conservative Black voters were being suppressed during the highly contested election of 2020. True, the Vote founder, Catherine Engelbrecht and Greg Phillips, in a video released 20 months later, recorded a woman in a silver sedan pulled up to an absentee ballot drop box at the Farwell Recreation Center at 2711 East Outer Drive in Detroit, Michigan. The camera records a constituent approach the drop box. She appears to take the ballots from another vehicle and drop ballots in the drop box. She looks down at her stack of ballots and realizes they have not been signed. She takes the ballots back to the vehicle, and once she locates a pen, she begins to sign each individual ballot and stack them on the dashboard. After she signed all 4 ballots, she positions them in a neat pile and walks back to the drop box and inserts them into the slot and walks away. What will this local governing body do to protect all Black votes regardless of political alignment? How have the Republicans suppressed the votes of Wayne County voters since turnout was over 100%? Thank you, Celeste Mentag. The second is from Anthony Plessia. Dear Commissioners, I was just made aware that the county government has plans and policies in place for all emergencies. Does this include protecting emergency vehicles from electromagnetic pulse attack? They would also be vulnerable. Would it be possible to share more details with the public with respect to long-term power outages and how to recover?
That's it. Okay, thank you. And we have one more hand on Zoom. ICAP.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. My name is Lisa Capatina, and I wanted to bring forward a concern regarding this public comment session. Perhaps I misunderstood its purpose, but I understood it to be an opportunity for citizens to voice their concerns to this commission. And according to the Citizens Guide to Wayne County, government and according to the Citizens Guide to Wayne County Government, currently on your website, said commissioners are elected to serve as the direct representatives in county government for the people who reside in their district. It does not single out citizens worthy by their degree nor profession. At your last meeting on April 12th, only a handful of public comments were made, and out of those, only 3 specifically were voiced in regards to COVID vaccines. Yet afterwards, a commissioner stated, and I quote, "The irony was not lost on him of people complaining about people representing or presenting as doctors in your media campaign when he had to listen to people who present themselves as medical doctors when they are PhDs or chiropractors, but presenting as virologists. I listened to the same public comment and I heard no one present as a virologist. Just because a commissioner may not agree with another stance on an issue, specifically medical freedom, it should not matter what degree, if any, the constituent has or does not have. To honor the equity and inclusive stance of this board, every voice should be respected and heard." Thank you.
Thank you so much. Are there any additional public comments? Okay, thank you. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Reconsiderations.
Reconsiderations, are there any? There are none. Next.
Remarks by members.
Thank you. Let me just say April's a very heavy month for birthdays by commissioners. April 28th is Commissioner Dobbs' birthday. So happy birthday in advance to you, Commissioner Dobbs. We've had Commissioner Varga and Commissioner Clark Coleman in April as well. So you too, Anderson? Oh, no, you raised your hand. Okay.
I only have one a year.
So happy birthday, Commissioner Dobbs. We celebrate you turning 25 again. Are there any commissioners, Commissioner Anderson?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Just wanted to remind members that you should have received an email for an invitation to co-sponsor a resolution that I'll have next meeting. It's to celebrate 100th birthday. Lily Lester, that lives in my district, she was the first female sergeant at arms in the state legislature. And she's African-American too, and she is a fantastic lady, and we're going to be celebrating her birthday and in Southfield coming up. And she just wanted to ask everyone that would like to co-sponsor, or if they do not wish to co-sponsor, let me state that again. If they do not wish to co-sponsor, please let us know, send us an email and as a response. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional remarks by members? Any remarks by members? Commissioner Kenlock.
Wanted to just state that I will be attending Roderick Poole Clark's funeral in Waco, Texas this weekend. He's a former member of the group High Five from the 1990s. Many of you may recognize the song I Like the Way Kissing Game, as well as a number of soundtracks, Meteor Man, Sister Act 2, and hosts of records. And I used to manage them when I was young myself. So I have a resolution that I will be presenting to the family with all commissioners. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. So sorry for your loss. Vice Chair Palomero.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Noting the time of day, this is the first time that I can say in a while that I'm glad to get back to our normal meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Any additional remarks by members? Okay, I'm going to allow Vice Chair Knizik to make the motion to adjourn.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Okay.
You're not going to get out of this.
I know. I know, right? I know. I'm not off the hook. Anybody support adjournment? Support. All right. Thank you all. Meeting adjourned.